Hello, hi, welcome to this video and my channel, I guess. I'm Arjin and this is my first ever video. This morning I just watched a video by Jack Edwards. He is essentially doing content about books, and when he was in university he was doing content about that. I think he read English literature. He studied English literature in Durham University. So I was watching a video by him and he was talking about the books he was gonna read during this summer, and I was like, why am I not doing one? Like, why am I not recording a video like that? Because I essentially need something to, you know, keep me in my lane, if that makes sense. I know we're in the middle of summer, like right now it's 12th of July, it's essentially the middle, but I was depressed. I'm sorry, I was depressed. The online school ended and I just tried to recover from the whole thing and it wasn't working, and I didn't read anything besides like a couple of fan fictions that I've read on Wattpad and AO3. But we're not going to talk about that because I've started reading fan fictions after 5 years, and that's a whole different story. So yeah, we're not going to talk about that in this video. We're going to talk about the books that I want to read during this summer. So keep in mind, I'm going to be leaving for Italy on 19th of August for school, and that leaves me with like approximately 37 days. Like approximately. So I was like thinking about reading in that like 37 days because even though I'm gonna be quarantining for 2 weeks in Italy, I'm just gonna take different books to there, okay? Because most probably I'm gonna read during the quarantine time because I'm not gonna have anything to do in the hotel room just by myself. So, but that's a different thing. I'm not considering that time in like my summer reading time, okay? So just keep that in mind. I've picked 6 books to read in 37 days. And I think that's possible, right? Like 6 days per book. I think it's pretty doable. So we're gonna start with Bernardine Evaristo's Girl, Women, and Other. So this book is the only English book that I'm gonna read this summer because I just don't have any English books that I haven't read at home. So this is the only one, and I've actually started reading this book. Like I just have 100 pages to go. I've started reading this in April, I think, and then my AP exams hit. They literally hit, like it was a tough time, and I've stopped reading. I've studied a lot, then I was depressed, and when I was depressed, I didn't read, and now I'm here, and I haven't finished this book, but I loved this book. Like, this book was amazing, it was awesome. It's about, women in the UK having different backgrounds. I think especially Black women, please correct me if I'm wrong, but like having their families migrated from different countries, and they're like a lot of different generations, a lot of different social classes in this book, and you observe different people, you know, having maybe similar backgrounds whatsoever, but having completely different lives. And it just shows that like the struggles of women in general. It was an amazing book. It's brilliant. Like, I was actually super curious about like how everything's gonna be, like how everything's gonna come together in the end, and I hadn't seen that. Like, I haven't seen that because obviously I didn't finish the book. So the first thing that I need to do is to finish this. It was really brilliant. Like, it was one of the best books I've ever read, I think. And I recommend this to everyone, but I still haven't finished it. So it's in the list. It's the first book that I'm gonna read from this list. And yeah. that's pretty much it. And then I have this book by John Steinback. I hope I pronounced his surname right. So the English and the original name of this book is In Dubious Battle. This is obviously, as you can see, a Turkish book. Well, I love John Steinback, okay? I've read a couple of books from him before, and I just love his writing style. I love the themes he uses in his books, like the working class, the rebellion. I love his perspective and his creation of these stories around these topics. I'm also pretty into the politics surrounding these themes, so it's also always like a lot more interesting to me to see those things in a storyline type of way, if that makes sense. Does that make sense to you? So that's why I bought this book like 2 days ago maybe. This is also about like the working class and their struggle and their fight. I'm not gonna go into detail because, well, I don't know the details, but yeah, I'm super excited to read this. This is like my type of book, so yeah, it's pretty exciting for me at least. And then I have this, The Children of Dune. This is the third book in the Dune series by Frank Herbert, okay? Well, the Dune series, I've actually started reading the whole series I think like 6 months ago. I've read the first book and I fell in love with the world building. It was amazing. It was 10 out of 10. I love a good science fiction book, okay? And I love it even like if it has like good world building, I love it even more. So you can say, like, you could say it's embarrassing for me to like read Frank Herbert so late, even though like I love science fiction, because this is a blueprint of science fiction, okay? The Dune series is the blueprint. But I mean, I've read The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. Does that count? It's also legendary. But yeah, I was also super like, I'm also upset about reading the whole series super late, but it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I knew the movie was coming out during like fall this year, I think, and I was like, I have to read the book before the movie comes out because I'm gonna watch that movie and I don't want to like read the book afterwards, you know? It's always better to like read the book first so that you can imagine the things for yourself without like seeing a visual of them first, you know? So I read the first book. I fell in love with the world building. It was amazing. It was a very thick book, but like I loved it. Then I started reading the second book, The Dune Messiah, and it was even better somehow. It was a perfect combination for a science fiction book that I could ever ask for. There was politics involved, religion involved, science fiction, the amazing world building, and it's the best thing I have ever read in science fiction. I swear, it's like, I don't know, can you even top that? Like, is it possible to like write something better than that? But people were saying Children of Dune is even better, like the third book, this one. And I don't know if that's possible, but yeah, I mean, I think I'll find out. So this is also a pretty thick book, but I don't care. Frank Herbert's like language and his writing style is like pretty smooth to me. I don't find it like heavy or anything, so I just lose myself when I read the like Dune series. So I think it's gonna be fine. And also I was thinking, like, if I finish this before leaving for Italy, I can read the fourth and the fifth book maybe during quarantine. So that would be nice, right? That would be cool. So yeah, I'm thinking of doing that. So this is in the list. And I'm pretty excited to read this. And also a lot of things are changing in this book compared to the first two books. Like there's a generation change, I think. So that also makes me kind of like stressed, anxious, because I love the main characters in the first two books, and now it's changing, like it's getting more complicated. I don't know, we'll see how I feel about that. And then I have this book. Okay, this is the fourth book that I picked, and I don't think it has an English translation. It is by a Turkish writer, philosopher type of person, Baker, and it's like, if I translate the title, like the big title initially, it's something like the phrasing of peace in political language, something like that. But when I say peace, I mean it as in like peaceful, not like the opposite of war, you know? And I'm super interested in politics, okay? And even though this book was written in 1993, I believe, yep, 1993, this is still relevant in Turkish politics, like this whole discussion. So yeah, I'm super like interested in it because of that reason. I want to like learn more about the ideologies in Turkish politics, even though I know a lot, I want to know more. So I want to see different perspectives. I want to see the perspectives of like people like Baker, like philosophers, like, you know, and I want to see the perspective of politicians, like wide perspectives, a wide range of perspectives. I have my own thoughts as well, obviously, but I think finding out more perspectives and reading about them in a sociological way is like, it makes you think even deeper, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm super like pumped about reading this. I'm super curious about what he has to say about this, because I actually quite like how he approaches sociological situations and questions, because I've like listened to some talks from him, and like I really like his style of thinking, I would say. So I'm really excited about this book as well. And then we have a book from Stephen Hawking. So I'm just gonna tell you the original name of this book. Brief Answers to the Big Questions by Stephen Hawking. I think this is the only book about space or physics, I would say, in this list. And I wanted to put something like that, like something to do with physics or like space into this list, because I want to like study astrophysics in university, and I love learning about space. I love learning about physics, both. So I just wanted to put something, so because I enjoy it, you know, simple as that. So yeah, I actually read the short history of time. Is that the name of the book, by Stephen Hawking? If it's wrong, I'm gonna correct it on the screen somewhere. And I really enjoyed that book, and now I'm gonna read this. I think this is a lighter reading compared to that book, but I'm not really sure. It seems super interesting to me, so I also want to read this one. Here we go with the last book. This is the sixth book that I want to read this summer in the 37 days that I have. So this book is called, like, in its original name, Mal de Terre, if I pronounce it correct. It's a French name. I couldn't find the English version. I don't think there is one, like an English title. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. But it is written by HUBERT, REEVES, and FRÉDÉRIC, LENOIR, something like that. It is about essentially the earth sciences, climate change, global warming, and stuff like that. So the main reason that I want to read like this book is that I've been learning about climate change and global warming and the environment in general, like since like for a long time, I think. and I've translated the Paris Agreement. I've been to a lot of conferences about it. I'm even doing like a course on Coursera by Yale University about climate adaptation and human health. Like, I've did a lot of things. I took AP Environmental Science, and like since my last 2 conferences, I've been thinking, like, whenever I go to conferences now, I don't learn anything new, okay? Like, everything that I hear in those conferences from the speakers, from the other participants, are all things that I know. But I still feel like I know nothing, like, about climate change and global warming and the environment. Like, it's not like I know nothing, but I feel like I don't know much, you know, because I want to be able to talk in a very like scientific manner and like telling the scientific perspective, not only the perspective of climate activists, because I am one, but I feel like that perspective is not enough for me to talk about the issue, you know, if that makes sense. And I feel really tired about the whole thing, like always getting exposed to similar type of information in conferences and like in the books that I read about it and like stuff like that, you know. I feel like I can't like find detailed information enough, and I want to like reach to detailed information, but somehow it's not happening, even though I'm trying to like find articles on databases like EBSCO or like Google Scholar, but it's not happening, and it's making me upset. So I'm like, I feel like this book has that, like that scientific data knowledge, if that makes sense. Does that even make sense? I don't know. But the thing is, I want to learn more about the scientific perspective of climate change. So I've picked this book to, you know, while hoping that I could find that perspective in this. And if you want to like recommend me things, I would be thrilled if you like know some resources that I can find that type of information, like very detailed scientific information, like reports type of things, you know. And yeah, that's pretty much it basically. So as you see, I've picked 6 books to read in 37 days, and I kind of recorded this to hold myself accountable as well, because like if I publish this video, I feel like I need to read these books, you know. I'm trying to recover from the whole online school thing. It was a very, very tough and busy year for me, and I hated it. So now I'm trying to recover, and I'm trying to go back to my old habits, like reading. And I hope this works. I hope this whole list of books make me fall in love with reading again. So yeah, that's our biggest goal for this summer, falling in love with reading again. And I don't think I'm gonna have a lot of time to read in the school that I'm gonna go to this year in Italy. So I hope this summer goes like good for reading for me. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, please leave a comment if you want to. If you enjoyed it, I can do like more reading related content. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, if you're still here. Thank you for listening to me talking about books for 20 minutes, I guess. It was also quite fun for me too. Have a nice summer, have a nice day or night, wherever you're in the world, I guess. And I'll see you later.